We were hacked by a Viagra website as a Muslim-friendly business platform. You can imagine that is not a good look.
That was a week before our launch as well.
On top of that, a week before our launch.
Salam guys, my name's Isma.
Salam guys, my name's Reis.
And we're going to go over 5 fails we encountered as a startup so you don't have to.
So, number 1 on the list is always have a backup plan. Whether you're in tech, whether you're in a standard business, whatever it is, always have something in mind. Now, for us, that's strong cybersecurity because we are in tech, we have a website, we have a platform, and our experience was absolutely insane. We were hacked by a Viagra website as a Muslim-friendly business platform. You can imagine that is not a good look.
That was a week before our launch as well.
On top of that, a week before our launch. So that gave us so much stress. I mean, at the time, I was working full-time at work, and I got the emails coming through. It was like 1 email, then it was 2, then it was 200. It was from like these Russian hackers. Then
all French.
All French, it could have been all different IP addresses.
That's fair.
And then I started getting the messages in the group chat saying, yo, what the hell's going on? And
we tried to keep it as low key as possible for your sake, because you were at work. But so he was panicking.
So my inbox was increasing, my blood pressure was increasing, I was having a mental breakdown at work. It wasn't a good place for me, honestly. And then when we did type in amazing.com,
we got invalid nonce as well. When we were trying to go onto the back end of our website, we were getting invalid nonce.
So to try and get rid of any of that sort of problem for anyone moving forward, because we know it happened to our friend as well, not invalid nonce or any Viagra website, they were a little bit lucky.
Just got hacked.
I mean, they weren't lucky, you know what I mean. But always get the backup that you need. So
100%. Yes,
it's going to cost a little bit, and it costs me a lot more as a result of having to do all of that.
Because we had to redesign the website again. We didn't have any backups either.
100%.
We didn't have any backups.
I mean, learn from this is what I would say. Get the backups. If you're in tech, if you have a website, whatever it is, get cybersecurity. If you have a normal business, get a backup plan. So if anything goes wrong, you can always rely on that. And that might be having a team that you can rely on. But whatever it is, number 1, get a backup plan.
Yeah, definitely. So the second one is always ensure that you have product validation. We made one of the biggest mistakes ever, and we spent money unnecessarily, money that we really did not have, and we've done it since as well a couple of times. We did not reflect on our previous mistakes, but always ask your customers and your potential customers on whether or not they would use whatever feature you implement. So we ended up spending about 1.5 to 2K on...
Which was a lot of money.
It was a lot of money, especially when we were trying to bootstrap it as much as possible.
100%. We're not funded.
We're not funded, and we'd rather not take VC funding nowadays. But we did have, 1.5 to 2K on a feature which connected people's Shopify accounts to their WordPress accounts, because we were actually importing all of the products. It
was basically a good space marketplace. We were trying to make life easier for the customer, but the thing that we forgot to do was actually ask the customer whether 1, they were even on Shopify, and 2, whether they would even use it, because yes, it was decreasing the time it took them to sign up and to get all their products on, but it was still really long.
And at the end of it, we still ended up adding the products ourselves.
I mean, that was modern day slavery. The amount of products we put on as a result of that was insane.
Definitely validate your ideas beforehand. Just even if it's a case of like making a tweet and asking people if they would actually use it, or messaging your potential
polls online,
all of that sort of stuff.
People feel involved.
That's it, exactly. They feel more connected to your website, and they're still more connected to the brand as a whole, because you're actually asking them or whether or not they want specific things, and it feels like they're involved a lot more.
Definitely. So product validation. Number 3 is multiple ways to incentivize people to work within your startup, your project, your business, whatever it is. But a lot of people, such as us, believe that you have to pay in financial terms with fiat currency,
actual money,
to get to the next stage of what you're looking for. And that sounds like, well, Reis, obviously you do need to do that. But if you take it back a step, if you find something that has a strong enough mission, a strong enough why, you can incentivize people a different way that doesn't have to break the bank account, which is maybe a structured equity, situation, so someone can come in and have more skin in the game when it comes to it. So for us, we took on 2 really world-class developers who were friends of ours from university, and originally we took them on an invoicing basis, but I think they came to love what we were doing, and eventually we had a much more grown-up discussion about how to incentivize them through equity. And as a result, 2 years later, we're still working together. They're coming up with a lot more productive and proactive ideas about how to grow, how to better user experience and stuff like that. But when you're on an invoicing and transactional relationship, it's very much, here's the work, crack on with it, and sort of no rapport or doing. And
there's no extra things that they'll think of and tell you about. I'd say it's very stagnant. It's very stagnant. It's whatever we've thought of, we tell them, and that's it, they do. But now it's more of a case of they've got input into what they think could work better for our website, and they help us in that sense as well, which is very good. Like even Amazing 3.0, that's all the developers side of things. They've done a fantastic job, and because of their own initiative of thinking of like, what's the next step? How do we future-proof this? They've already gone above and beyond what we expected of them.
I mean, just to add on to that as well, anyone at home who's watching this and trying to figure out, look, I've got an idea, I'm not a techie myself, or I'm missing a certain skill set. I wouldn't even just say jump into offering anyone equity, because equity is part of your baby. It's a big thing to give away, even though you're not sacrificing a financial situation right that second. But I would probably say that do a little bit of a mix. So if you can get them for a month or 2 months on a paid basis, just to see how you work with each other, and then from there, once it's a sort of marriage made in heaven situation,
100%.
then you can look at doing a more longer term situation. That's what we did. We did a little bit of invoicing to begin with, and then we struck a deal that worked well for us.
You say something which is 100% of zero is zero. Even if you've got a fantastic idea or whatever it is, if you're keeping all of that share for yourself and you don't spend any money, or you don't give somebody a bit of equity or anything, and you don't grow it, there's no point in doing it. Then it doesn't amount to anything. Your shares are worthless at the end of it.
Just to add on to that as well, there's very, very few business models that have a one-person team that does everything and has grown to the highest heights. Often you have a world-class team that's been brought in from the best corners or the darkest corners of the world that people wouldn't immediately think that they work together as a team, but they end up bringing so much to the table. So again, you can't all do it by yourself, and I would say there's multiple ways to incentivize someone. So don't think you have to break the bank just to achieve that as well. So that would be number 3.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so number 4 is always get help with your videos. So we ended up filming our first promo video, 2 years ago now, about 2 years of 2021, something around that time. And this is the video for context. There you go.
Yes, it is.
And it looked like we were filming a hostage video, for lack of a better phrase, really.
Yeah, I mean, the eye bags I had.
The eye bags I had as well.
Yeah, but I didn't even pay 10p for those. That's like 5 years of solid work. If I was looking to secure my wife at that time, which I think I was.
Oh, you were, yeah.
She really loves me for my personality.
Alhamdulillah.
And not my looks as a result.
Alhamdulillah. No, we're very lucky in that sense. We're very lucky in that sense.
But what I would say on that one is, look, we thought we could do that by ourselves, and we ended up shooting what was one of the best hostage videos. I mean, not good for anyone to see, but we got quite a lot of views on that one.
Yeah, that was very good.
And the content was great, but genuinely we looked like we were deficient in so many nutrients. It was wrong again.
And we looked hella tanned for no reason.
Yeah, I know.
Just because of the lighting as well.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on there, but
lighting.
Get someone who knows what they're doing, and if they don't know what they're doing, just get someone external so they can see what your video looks like. Because often it's wood from the trees, you can't 100%. See until it's uploaded. I mean, if you ask me to this day, until someone shook me and said, Reese, you look like you've just been released after a hunger strike or something. So get someone to check your videos so it doesn't look like a hostage video, because I can tell you now that is not a good look for investors.
Yeah, even if it's a person that's clearly a cameraman that's on his phone right now.
Right now.
But it is what it is. At least he's monitoring the video somehow.
Okay, so the last one I would say is, and it's applicable, I think, for not just startup, general businesses, any sort of milestone or area that you're in within your professional career, this is something that you should take on.
Yeah.
If you take away anything from this video today, it's this one, and it seems really, really obvious. So be savvy with your suppliers. And a lot of people think that, yeah, you know, they might have great business relationships with their suppliers, and that's good. That's something that keeps a business ticking for very, very healthily.
Yeah.
But when you're a startup, or whether you're a new business, whatever it is, you don't have all of the money to be able to experiment with suppliers that aren't going to deliver what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And often when it's your baby, you hold them to a really high standard.
For sure.
You can lose a lot of sleep this way, right? So a couple of tips when it comes to this sort of thing is always get free quotes. Don't just go with the first person because you like them. If they've got credibility, make sure you've seen their case studies.
All of their work.
Yeah.
Get them to send you a whole portfolio of all the work they've done and what other things they could do as well that could potentially help you.
Definitely. I mean, I don't think it's asking too much of that. Don't feel like you're putting them out. They're doing you a favor. You're going to part with your pound, so you need to be able to do that. Number 2 is to make sure that when you do get your quotes, as I say, go and get 3 of them so you can compare on a price basis. Obviously, it's not always just about price, it's obviously about quality. But it's very hard to judge quality when you have not taken out the services yourself and you've not got a lot to be able to give away. So get those 3 quotes, get suppliers that you can trust, and also get suppliers that are invested in what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because we're very lucky that way.
Yeah.
You know, we have suppliers like BrainTub and all the rest of it, and we have very honest and transparent conversations with our suppliers to say, look, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
This is what we're aiming to achieve by X, Y, and Z. Are you going to help us get there? And 9 times out of 10, when you've got a good relationship with someone, they'll go the extra mile to deliver what you're looking for. And that, in my opinion, reduces the level of disappointment that can be experienced, especially when you're a startup.
I think trust is the biggest thing, really. You need to make sure that the people that you work with, you trust them implicitly to get the job done. You need that job done, whatever it may be. You need to make sure that we've had our suppliers now for the last, 6 months, maybe almost a year. And alhamdulillah, now we've gotten to a stage where we feel comfortable with what they deliver, as well as their time frame and their communication levels, and the fact that they somewhat work within how we like to work as well.
Yeah, and they're never going to get it perfect.
100%. That's everybody though. Oh, you're not going to find anybody unless you make a carbon copy of yourself to actually do exactly what you need to. But I don't think your carbon copy will have the same skills that are required, bro.
No, it doesn't.
But that's the main thing, I think.
Yeah, spot on. So, to summarize, the 5 things that you need to watch out for, or the things that we failed in, so that you don't have to. Number 1, always have a backup plan, whether that's cybersecurity, whether that's an effective team to lean on. Always have a backup plan, because when bad stuff hits the fan, you're going to want to make sure that you're not the only one having a mental breakdown at that point. And best case scenario, avoid that mental breakdown by having the right structures in place to ensure that
from the beginning.
Exactly.
Number 2 is always have product validation. Make sure that you validated all your ideas before you decide to actually either spend time or money actually creating that or fixing the problem that you think you've got, but nobody else thinks that you've got.
Spot on. And number 3 is multiple ways to incentivize people that you want to work within your business, within your startup, or within your project, whether that be, yes, financial, which is the obvious one, but also equity structures and some other creative ways to be able to get them to buy into your idea. That would be number 3.
Yeah.
Number 4?
Number 4, get help with your videos, even if it's somebody that doesn't know how to use a camera. Just make sure there's somebody behind the actual camera to actually see what's happening and see whether or not you're in focus or whatever it is. I don't think our first video was properly in focus,
Probably.
I really don't think so.
I'm glad.
This would
have been worse.
It would have, but it was bad enough as it was.
100%.
That was blurry.
Number 5 is be savvy with your suppliers. So as I mentioned before, go for free quotes, make sure you compare prices, make sure you get them to buy into what you're doing and have a transparent relationship, because at the end of the day, they're doing the same thing that you're doing, which is running a business. So if you're on a level with them, you'll always be able to deliver better, and they'll go the extra mile in making sure they don't disappoint you, especially at this early age.
That's it.
Brilliant. We hope you found this video helpful, and inshallah, we've got plenty more to come your way.
Inshallah. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.